I want to tell you about the most expensive, frustrating week of my backyard farming journey. I bought 50 Coturnix quail chicks, ran the profit numbers, and went to sleep feeling like a farm genius. By day 7, my brooder was completely empty. My flock was dead. I didn't lose those birds because quail are weak. I lost them because baby quail are biologically different from chickens. And I made 7 fatal mistakes that almost every beginner makes. Today, I am giving you the exact survival blueprint. We are fixing these 7 errors for pennies. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what killed my birds and how to prevent every single one. If you're serious about profits, hit subscribe. Let's get into it. The absolute #1 killer of baby quail in the first 48 hours has nothing to do with genetics, bad feed, or disease. It is drowning, and it happens in the blink of an eye. When a Coturnix quail hatches, it is unbelievably tiny. We are talking about a bird roughly the size of a bumblebee, weighing just 6 to 8 grams. Beginners usually go to the farm store and buy standard plastic chick waterers, the classic red and white ones. For baby chickens, those are perfect. For a baby quail, you just placed a lethal swimming pool in their brooder. Baby quail are clumsy. They fall asleep standing up, and they trip over each other constantly. If they fall into that standard water trough, they cannot climb out because the plastic rim is too slippery for their weak legs. Even if they manage to drag themselves out, the real danger begins immediately. A wet quail chick in a 95-degree brooder will die of hypothermia in a matter of minutes. Evaporation pulls the heat directly out of their tiny bodies, which have zero body fat to protect them. They shiver, their organs shut down, and they die. The fix for this costs $0. Take that exact shallow water dish and pack the entire drinking ring tightly with small glass marbles or clean river pebbles. Fill the water so it sits just barely below the top curves of the stones. The baby quail will run up, see the water glistening, and dip their tiny beaks between the gaps to drink. They get full hydration, but it is physically impossible for them to fall in and get wet. Keep those marbles in there for the first 10 days. Wash them daily because quail will poop in their water. Fix this, and you save half your flock immediately. Mistake number 2 is how beginners manage brooder temperatures. We all know baby birds need heat. The standard rule is 95 degrees Fahrenheit for the first week, dropping 5 degrees every week after that. But it is not just about the thermometer reading. It is about heat distribution and draft management. If you use a wire dog crate wrapped in towels as your first brooder, the ambient air in your house pulls the heat away. Even the slightest breeze from an air conditioning vent or a drafty window chills these birds to the bone. When baby quail get cold, they don't just shiver, they panic. Their survival instinct is to find the nearest corner and aggressively huddle together to share body heat, a phenomenon called piling. 30 tiny chicks will try to occupy the exact same square inch of space. The chicks on top survive. The chicks trapped on the bottom are crushed and suffocated under the weight of their own siblings. You wake up to dead birds and wonder what disease hit them. It wasn't a disease, it was a draft. Your brooder needs solid, windproof walls for at least the bottom 12 inches. A heavy-duty plastic storage tote works perfectly. Secondly, do not make the entire box 95 degrees. You must create a thermal gradient. Place your heat lamp at one extreme end of the enclosure. The other end should be room temperature with food and water, located in the middle. Use the chicks as your thermostat. If they huddle tightly under the exact center of the lamp, they are freezing. If they press against the far walls panting, you are cooking them. If they sleep in a loose donut shape around the light's edge, your temperature is absolutely perfect. This is the mistake farm stores will accidentally force you to make. You tell the cashier you bought baby birds, and they confidently hand you a bag of standard medicated chick starter. For the first week, everything looks fine. By day 14, your quail start acting lethargic. and some sit down and never stand back up. A chicken takes roughly 24 weeks to reach maturity and start laying eggs. A Coturnix quail does that exact same biological journey in just 6 weeks. To fuel that violent, explosive rate of muscle and bone growth, they require massive amounts of specialized nutrition. Standard chick starter is formulated at roughly 18 to 20% protein. If you feed that to a quail, their immune system weakens, their bone development slows, and they begin to fail. Not because they look starving, but because their bodies simply cannot grow fast enough on insufficient protein. You must feed them an unmedicated game bird starter or turkey. Starter. You are looking for 28 to 30% protein for the first month. Do not compromise. But buying the right feed is only half the battle. When you open that bag, it comes in crumbles. To a day-old quail chick, a crumble is the size of a boulder. They physically cannot fit it into their beaks. For the first 10 days, you must grind that high-protein feed down. Buy a cheap coffee grinder and pulse the feed until it looks like coarse sand or cornmeal. Be careful not to blend it into fine dust, or the chicks will inhale it and develop severe respiratory infections. Coarse sand is the exact texture you want. Do this, and their growth rate will shock you. Never underestimate the athletic ability and the sheer determination of a baby quail trying to find a way out of a box. People look at these tiny, fragile birds and assume they are entirely helpless. What they do not realize is that by day 3, a quail chick can jump nearly 10 inches straight up into the air. If your brooder does not have a secured lid, they will pop out like popcorn, land on the cold concrete floor of your garage, and die of exposure within the hour. But the bigger issue is the type of wire you use. If you build a custom brooder or transition them to a grow-out pen at week 3, you might be tempted to use standard hexagonal chicken wire or half-inch poultry netting because it is cheap and easy to find. Listen to me very carefully. Baby quail are liquid. If they can fit their beak through a hole, they will contort their shoulders and push their entire body through it. They will walk through half-inch wire like it is an open door. If you use any kind of wire mesh for the walls or the lid of your brooder, it absolutely must be quarter-inch welded hardware cloth, not half-inch, quarter-inch. Until they are at least 3 weeks old and fully feathered, any gap larger than your thumb is a fatal escape route. Secure the lid tightly, duct tape the corners of your plastic totes if you have to, and do not trust any gap whatsoever. A secured perimeter is the only way to ensure you wake up to the same number of birds you went to sleep with. This next mistake is not glamorous to talk about, but it destroys flocks silently, and it breaks beginners' hearts because they do not even know it is happening until it is far too late. It is a condition known in the poultry world as pasty butt or a pasted vent. Because your brooder is kept at a bone-dry 95 degrees, the environment is extremely dehydrating. Combine that dry heat with the stress of shipping through the postal service or the stress of adjusting to a new feed, and the chick's digestive system can temporarily stall. When this happens, their droppings act like glue. The waste dries instantly on the outside of their body, sealing their vent completely shut like hard cement. The chick will continue to eat and drink normally, acting completely fine. But because they cannot expel waste, toxins rapidly build up in their bloodstream. Within 24 to 48 hours, the chick will simply drop dead. Here is your mandatory daily protocol. For the first 5 days of their lives, you need to physically pick up and inspect the backside of every single chick in your brooder every single day. It sounds like a lot, but it takes 3 minutes and it becomes routine by day 2. If you see a blockage, you must act immediately, but you must act correctly. Never try to pull the dried blockage off with your fingernails. The skin on a baby quail is paper thin. If you pull it dry, you will tear their skin. If they bleed, the other quail will aggressively peck at the wound, and the chick will die. Instead, take a paper towel soaked in warm water and gently hold it against the blockage for 60 seconds. Let the warm water soften the waste, then gently wipe it away. Apply a tiny dab of olive oil to prevent sticking. It takes 5 minutes and saves lives. When you set up your brooder box, what do you put on the floor? Most beginners grab whatever is cheap and absorbent. They throw down layers of old newspaper, or worse, they leave the bare, slippery plastic of the storage tote exposed. Doing this will permanently cripple your flock. When baby quail hatch, their hip joints and leg tendons are incredibly weak. They have zero muscle mass. If they try to walk on a slick surface like newspaper or plastic, their legs will literally slide out from under them, forcing them into a split position. If this happens repeatedly over the first 48 hours, it tears the tendons in their hips. This causes a permanent condition called spraddle leg or splayed leg. Once a chick develops spraddle leg, they cannot walk properly, they cannot compete for food, and they cannot reach the water. Ultimately, you will have to cull them, which is a terrible experience. For the first 4 to 5 days of life, the absolute best non-negotiable bedding is standard, cheap paper towels laid completely flat across the floor of the brooder. Paper towels provide the perfect textured grip. It allows their tiny claws to catch, forcing their legs to stay underneath them, which builds strong hip muscles. It is also incredibly hygienic. Twice a day, simply roll up the dirty paper towels, throw them away, and lay down fresh ones. After day 5, when their legs are strong, transition to pine shavings. Never use wood shavings on day 1. Baby quail will eat the wood, impact their crops, and starve. Stick to paper towels, then transition to pine. The final mistake is the one that traps you just when you think you have crossed the finish line. Quail grow so unbelievably fast that by week 3, your brooder is going to be an absolute disaster zone. They will be jumping aggressively, kicking pine shavings into their water, spilling their feed, and generating an amount of dust and smell that will drive you crazy. If that brooder is inside your house or garage, the temptation to evict them and move them to their permanent outdoor hutch is going to be overwhelming. Do not let your frustration dictate your farm management. At 3 weeks old, Coturnix quail look big, but they are deceiving you. They are going through an awkward teenage phase. They have adult feathers on their wings, but their backs and chests are still covered in baby down. If you move them outside to a wire cage before they are completely feathered out, a single sudden drop in temperature overnight or an unexpected rainstorm will wipe out the entire flock by morning. They do not have the thermal protection needed to survive the elements yet. Coturnix quail are generally not ready to live outside without supplemental heat until they are at least 4 to 5 weeks old, depending entirely on your local climate. When you are finally ready to move them, you must follow the hardening off protocol. At week 3, lower the brooder temperature to 80 degrees. At week 4, lower it to 75. Start turning the heat lamp completely off during the day so they experience natural temperature fluctuations, and only turn it back on at night. Let their bodies adjust naturally. Patience in week 3 guarantees your profits in week 6. I lost a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of sleep learning those 7 lessons the hard way. You absolutely do not have to. If you put those marbles in the water, grind that high-protein game bird feed, block the drafts, check their vents daily, and keep them on paper towels for the first week, you are going to watch those fragile, tiny chicks transform into a highly profitable egg-laying machine in just a month and a half. Quail farming is one of the smartest decisions you can make for your homestead or small business, as long as you respect the process. Which of these 7 mistakes are you currently making right now? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep building.